Southside reppin', Bigfoot steppin'. Zone 3 section, this God flow perfection. Niggas hating on the church like I ain't blessed they section. If we ain't talking money, I got a weak connection. That's on the hood. She said get a bag, so I get it, got it good. Don't complain about my problems, I just put it in a wood. Seen a genie the other day, she said nigga, make it good. So I wish for good health, then I wish to look. It's chief, not lieutenant.
We ready? All right. So this is episode 1.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
That's how we doing it.
That's how we doing it. Episode 1, live on Lake Street. We couldn't do it any other way.
That's real as hell.
I mean, we couldn't do it any other way. Just on a personal level, I have wanted this for a long time, but I never wanted to ask because I knew you stepped away for a reason.
Yeah, but I mean, doing an interview to me is different, especially if it's not just music questions. You know what I mean? If people really just in tune and want to know about my life, I'll talk, you know.
I got a few music questions, but mostly
It's all good.
for me, this is I feel like this is sort of my gift, our gift to the people that have wondered, because you never really did like an exit interview. I don't think you really ever explained.
I never knew what an exit interview was, honestly, until my last job.
Oh, see.
When I walked away from LA Fitness and everybody was like, what? You gonna do an exit? What is that? I'm like, oh, you explain why you're leaving? I'm like, nah.
Well, exit interviews I don't think are normal when it comes to music.
No.
It's not something people do. You just go. That's it. Or actually, typically when artists, especially rappers, when they say they're retiring, they don't really
I never
retire.
really got on. So when people's like, oh, you retired? I'm like, nah, I'm not, just put it down, you know?
Yeah. Well, for anybody that's watching this that doesn't know, I have a legend sitting across from me. There's no other way to put it. So, I don't know. Can I still call you Lyric MARID? Are you still Lyric MARID?
I go by lyrics still.
Do you?
You know, to the people that know me close like that, unless they want to call me Micah. I mean, whatever works for them.
I'm going to call you Lyric because that's how you live in my mind. So,
I'm with that.
man, welcome. I appreciate you doing this.
I'm happy to be here.
So, I want to lead this with, so you and I had, I don't know if you recall, but the night that you told me that you were done.
Yeah.
Outside of 7th Street after you said this is my last show. And I was like.
You was kind of stuck from it.
I was. I didn't believe you until we went inside. And I think we got a drink and we were standing there, the show was going on. And you looked me dead in my eyes and you were like, nah, this is it. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember even telling other people after that conversation, they were like, come on. And I'm like, nah, like he's really done.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't believe me.
Yeah, well, rightfully so. I think that a lot of people would have needed to look into your eyes to really see like you had enough. So that's my question.
It's a lot.
What was it? Was there like a final push that pushed you into being done?
I wouldn't say a final push. You know what I mean?
It felt abrupt.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But it was just I mean, I had a lot going on away from music. So like I know everybody's like, "Oh, yeah. We love your shows, we love your music, we love this, we love that." But like I feel like people only knew me as Lyric. Like people like when my wife, she threw a surprise party for me and my brother for our 30th birthday a year after I walked away. And she was reaching out to people, having Tune and my brother reach out to people on, or not my brother, but having Tune and them reach out to people on the internet. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, Micah's birthday. People like, Micah? Who's Micah? You know what I mean? Like people didn't even know me away from music. So I don't know, man, just, you know, the married life, you know, wanting to be more present for my son, you know, getting back into church and just a lot of, I mean, I like the music I made, but I was also outgrowing it. I didn't want to be that guy that, you know, no knock to the other artists out here in the scene that's still trying to get there, you know, but I'm about to be 33 this year, you know what I mean? So it was just like, I mean, from a business standpoint, the ROI wasn't there. Right? Like I spent a lot of money and a lot of money didn't come back. You know what I mean? I wasn't just looking for local fame. And I feel like a lot of people are cool with that.
I agree.
You know, just they walk into a club and people know them or they get some likes and shit on Facebook. It's just.
Yeah, that local celebrity shit can be.
I'm over that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wasn't 100% happy. I felt like I was trying to fill a void. And that's probably the biggest reason why I was like, let me step away.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, we see it a lot with like you know, artists that die, and then all of a sudden they're your favorite artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we saw, like the biggest example of that was Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
When Nipsey died, all of a sudden everybody's the biggest Nipsey fan.
It hit me hard when Nips passed, but it
too.
was weird how all these people that I played Nipsey around or I talked about Nipsey and they like, oh, I love Nipsey now. It's like, come on, man. Why
Yeah.
ain't y'all give him his roses when he was here? And,
Right.
And that's the problem with people. Like, they don't want to give you your roses when you're around.
Yeah,
You know,
so
they
that-
always wait till you're gone, whether it's you die or you walk away from something. Then all of a sudden, all the support come out, and it's
Yeah.
like people gotta learn to start giving that when they present.
So
You
was
know
that
what
a
I mean?
part? Was that a part of this? You didn't feel like because I feel like, I mean,
I wouldn't say it was a part of it because, like, I didn't do music for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I was one of the few that started actually trying to bring life to shit. You know what I mean? Bring unity. I was trying to put people on that I know wouldn't have done the same thing for me.
Such
You know
as?
what I mean? I ain't gonna put names out there, but it's just like my arms was wide open.
yeah,
Like, when I went on that run doing all those big shows with all those big artists, I was bringing everybody on stage.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember.
Like, I was reaching out to everybody because it's bigger than me. You know what I mean? It's bigger than any one artist, but everybody here got this ego where they want to be the one to put the city on. And that's why the city ain't really on how it should be.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's plenty of talent here, but there's no real outlet because everybody wants to be that one, opposed to realizing if we realize that we all got it here, there's enough out there for everybody to eat still.
More than enough.
But, you know, egos, man. Ego, pride, you know. It's the biggest sin that no one ever talks about.
Were you aware? I mean, were you aware? Do you feel like people gave you your roses? Do you feel like people gave you your flowers while you were doing it?
I mean, the ones who matter, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
The ones who matter for sure, you know.
the people that I was around or am around or whatever,
Mhm.
I felt like it was a constant conversation, and still a conversation, to be honest with you. This is a conversation that I've still had, like, even recently. People felt like you were the one. Like, people really, I felt that way.
That's
You were
real.
you were different. It was clear that you were different. I mean, you could talk about, like you said, there's plenty of talent here. I could think of a number of artists that definitely have mainstream, appeal.
Right.
But for me, when I watched you and your music career, it looked different than what everybody else was doing because of the things that you just said. You were trying to bring people in, and I give you a lot of credit, honestly, for the reason I'm sitting here. To this day, any interview that I do, I credit you, and I want to give Jordan his just due as well.
Man, Jordan's my man.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I saw him at Fresh's little brother's funeral, but
If it wasn't
was in and out.
for the Power Moves release show, the Wiseman show would have never happened. I probably wouldn't be sitting here. Like, I really wouldn't. That was a night that I came to the realization, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. What that exactly means, I don't know, but talking on mics, that's my job. That's
That
my
was
career
fun.
path. It was
that
fun.
was fun. Y'all was in the back room, right? When we
We were in the
smoked
green
out.
room.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, so I credit you and Jordan for inviting us to that event and putting us in the position that we were in to realize, because prior to that night, I don't think Joe nor I really understood what we had here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, prior to that, it was like, I knew about Baby Shell,
Yo.
and I was like, whoa, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's still spaz.
And then I knew, like Big Wiz and obviously like the guys that have, the OGs that have been around forever. But that show, that was when I saw you, when I saw Plaza, when I saw, Tribe. I saw, who else was on that show? It was,
I brought everybody on that one. I
Bro.
brought my boy Prince Cray out. I ain't heard nothing from Prince Cray.
Andre Seamers was out
Yeah,
there.
Andre was out there.
Quiz was there. It
Yep.
was crazy.
Empire X was out there.
Mac Irv.
Did he touch the
Yeah,
stage?
he did.
Yeah, I love his level up. A
Irv?
lot of niggas hate on him, but
Yeah.
I love his presentation.
It's hard to deny.
Yeah,
And he's getting better. So yeah, I agree.
that's the biggest thing. Like,
Yeah.
you can hear it.
Who do you
Like,
pay attention to here?
I pay attention to the squad still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though we ain't out there like we was, you know what I'm saying, mosh pitting and, M's up everywhere. It's still milled out to the death. It's
Yeah.
just, it's cool to see, like, Kobe who you know, Reed Benjamin now,
Mhm.
really out here trying to flood shit.
Yeah.
Because when I was on that, he wasn't. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
cool as a feature artist. Like, he was cool with just hopping on people's shit and bodying people, but he ain't cared too much about putting his work out. So to see me step away and him step up,
Yeah.
it makes me happy I stepped away because Cole is that dude. Seeing, you know, Toon, you know, shout out to my bro Toon, to see his level up with his hustle, you know what I mean? Like, I know I heard some people too, like, I know when me and Fresh talked, like, I could tell he was really like, I wouldn't say mad, but just kind of like hurt, like, damn, bro.
You mean like from you walking away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Just because of what we had, what we
Yeah.
was building, you know what I mean? Like, I put belief in it, like, that he believed what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find cats like that, you know. There's a lot of people that try to click up, but who really believe what you trying to do.
That's a good point.
So, you know, I apologize to Fresh a whole, especially with all the stuff he's been through.
He's been through a lot.
Yeah, I feel bad, but at the same time, like, I know he's built for this. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen him level up. I've seen just in life, period, not just music. So I stay in tune with my people. You know, me and Y Khalik still chop it up, but like, it's different. Like, I fuck with the people that rocked with me away from music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the people I still check in on.
Yeah.
Like, even though, you know, Plaza stepped away from Mill City, when I reach out to Plaza, I'll tell him, oh, yeah, dope, start track and all that, but I don't talk to him about music.
So
You know what I mean?
you and Plaza still have a relationship?
I don't have beef with nobody. Like, that was one of the biggest things with me stepping away. Like, I don't got time to beef with niggas. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's-
was there a beef?
no.
An alleged
I mean,
beef?
I feel like
I think people thought
people
there
just
thought there
like
was.
people like to poke and prod and make shit what it ain't. You know what I mean? And people may have felt a certain way about, you know, his start or, you know, what really brought him attention here. I stay out of that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't do what I did for people for credit.
For the credit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did it because I believed in them. Like,
Yeah.
Plaza's still cold as hell to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do I wish he would spit more about life? 100%. Because bar-wise, can't nobody touch that man.
Or just release an album. That'd be
I mean, yes and no. Like, learning more about the business of shit, you know what I mean, with music, he hasn't necessarily done anything wrong by not dropping an album. Everyone's, oh, you need to drop an album, you need to drop an album. But why, in a sense? Because he's generated all this attention off of singles.
Yeah.
And if someone else could generate that attention off of singles, would they? You feel me? Like, if you could keep all this material in and only give people bits and pieces, would you? Like, I put out a lot of albums that people didn't really pay attention to thoroughly. So, just my thoughts, you know. I rock with Plaza. Ain't no beef. But I reach out to him and ask him how his daughter's doing. You know what I mean? I talk to Toon about his family. I'm always with Kobe and talking about his family. You know what I mean? Fresh. Like, all the close-knits, you know. Me and Nate still, you know, I got to take him to dinner, him and his wife. You know, I was at their wedding, you know. Like, it's all love on my end. Like, I don't got no problems with nobody.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's funny that you bring it up because it's something that I had in my notes because it's something that people wonder about. Was the issues with
So that's
with
why
Plaza,
I'm just clearing that.
specifically him.
There's no issues with Plaza. Like, people don't know. Like, me and Plaza had a talk, and we was like, it was at a point where when Mill City, before we really tried to push Mill City, it was like, yo, what should we do? Should we try to move a little different? It was really, honestly, before they did the whole group thing with him and De Niro and them, he was talking to me about, like, me, him, and Saeed trying to do something. But I'm loyal to the core.
Yeah.
So, like, there was no way I was going to not bring along the people that I've been rocking with this whole time.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing for me, and I don't want to get hung up on Plaza, but he's a hot button topic because of who he is and because of the buzz that he's created.
Yeah.
But it's always felt to me like it bothered me the way that he treated the collective. It was like that 1 foot in, 1 foot out shit.
that's fair. That's fair.
And I felt like, I don't know, so I can't say with certainty, but it felt like you had feelings about it that maybe you never spoke about.
It's not that I have feelings about it, you know what I mean? It's just, like I said, I'm loyal to the core. So,
Yeah.
like, if you gonna commit and really rock with niggas, you gotta really rock with niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he chose not to. That's his doing. You know what I mean? There was never no animosity.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people looked at him kind of funny, even maybe within the camp, but
A lot of people still look at him funny.
there, man, he wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's plenty of people, you know, besides the core Mil Dot that niggas is kind of like, you know, a little
Yeah.
awkward eye on because of shit that they said they thought that we didn't catch. But real recognize real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, niggas know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just leave it at that.
Yeah,
Niggas know.
it's fair.
So,
You were inside of it, and a lot of people were not. So,
yeah, niggas know.
But
So,
but it is something that
I
people
don't-
want. People want to
I
know
don't
about.
need the
so.
credit. I don't need none of that. Niggas
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People saw it come up, so.
So, do you still ever get the itch to come back?
Not necessarily to come back, but I miss creating. So, like, I do dinner time raps for my son. So,
Okay.
like, my wife, because she always cook, man. She's an amazing wife. But she's always, you know, I get my son Friday through Sunday. So, I mean, there's probably a few weekends where I don't. But most of the time, she'll cook. And then my son will be like, you gotta rap, Daddy. You gotta rap. So I'll rap off the top about dinner. And he loves it. He loves it. Sometimes she did a couple raps, you know, funny as hell. The fact that she just even attempted was just, it was great. But
Would you encourage him if that's what he wanted to do?
he don't want to rap. He want to make beats. That's what his mom told me.
Okay.
He wants to make beats. I mean, I would just tell him, you know, that whatever he want to do,
Yeah.
I'm going to push him in that direction. Like, he don't like football. I don't care.
Yeah. Shit. Good.
Play basketball, play baseball.
Don't get concussions.
Whatever he want to do, I'm going
Yeah.
to push him in that direction. You
Yeah.
know, just make sure you got level head.
So, something that I'm asking this, I guess, for me, I think other people want to know too, but since I got you sitting here, your final offering, Sexy Fat. First, so a couple things about it. First thing, I don't know if you feel this way or not, but it sounded like nothing that was going on in the world. It was the only thing that I had heard at that time that sounded like that. So for that to be your final offering, and I think I probably have told you this already privately, was like, it felt like you left so much on the table because it was a sound that nobody else was touching and a sound that you had never touched. It was different for you.
Yeah.
But it
Shout
was-
out to JTC, because he's the one that kind of pulled me in with the auto-tune, because like that was never really my, you know what I mean? That was never really my thing, but he enabled me to really touch that creative side. Like, I didn't write that shit. The only song I wrote on that project was the one for my wife.
Wait. For real? I feel like that's breaking news.
Nah,
you
I think I
didn't?
told y'all that when I came to the Wiseman.
Maybe you did.
On the Wiseman show, and y'all asked the same question, like, wait, you didn't write that shit? Like, nah. Like, I would go in there and I'd be on some just Wayne shit, just hum a melody,
Oh, yeah. Okay. My
hum
bad.
it, and then fill it in with words.
I took
But-
that the wrong way. I thought you meant somebody else wrote it.
Oh, hell
I thought you had a ghostwriter for that. I'm
Hell
like,
no.
whoa,
No
whoa.
Drizzy.
No.
But at the end of the day, everybody got writers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just, Drake said it best on his new joint, like, he fell on the sword while these other niggas find ways around it.
Yeah. So you listen to the Drake album.
I did.
What you think? Yeah.
I like how he came at Kanye. I mean, a lot of the shit these niggas be talking about, they ain't talking about shit. Like, they got such big platforms, but they ain't talking about shit.
Yeah.
And then they want to...
That's the biggest knock on Drake.
Yeah,
is he don't talk about.
Most rappers don't talk about shit,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And that's his MO.
Most don't talk about shit, and then they fall into that stigma, and they mad that they in that stigma, but it's because there ain't no content.
Yeah. What'd you think about the Kanye versus Drake thing?
Publicity.
Who won?
Did Kanye even say anything?
He definitely did, but for me, it's about the album. Kanye had the better album.
Yeah, I like Kanye's album. Especially because I'm back in church, I like where he went with it.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I'm not back in church, but me too.
It felt real gospel-y,
Yeah.
but he wasn't scared to come with bars. And he was rapping.
Somebody said he was really going.
Kanye was really,
Yeah.
he's eating. You know what I mean? I thought it was a better cohesive project.
Yeah.
But Drake is Drake, right? He know how to make hits.
It's
People
mid
gonna-
for Drake. It's mid for Drake. It's a solid album. It's just we wanted more. Yeah, I wanted more. I agree. Can you give me your top three current Minnesota artists?
Not without bias.
Well, bias it up then.
In a specific order or just?
No, well, if you can.
I mean, the three that I probably listen to the most
Yeah, that's what I want.
would be Cole, Tune, and Khalid. But it's just because, like, I relate to him. Like, I listen to a lot of unreleased shit from Cole, a lot of unreleased shit from Tune.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Khalid, he ain't pushed it out in a minute, but his content is just different.
Yeah.
It's just different. Like, I listened to Saeed's project. I actually talked to him about that joint. Amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Amazing.
This is part of, for me, I guess maybe frustration with all of MCC, is I felt like every single person on that, whatever you want to call it, that collective,
Yeah.
monstrous. Every single person on there, with you as the front man. To me, that's what I mean. I don't know if that's how you look at it or how you feel, but you know,
Everybody pulled their weight.
But if you
when
look
they
at,
needed to.
like, if you look, you know, they made the Super Bowl announcement, this halftime show, and you see Dre right there in the middle.
Right.
That to me, that's you, with everybody else kind of branched off, and so that was part of the frustration. Is it felt like you left, and MCC was done.
Yeah.
That is what happened. I mean, that is what happened.
Yeah.
Not to put that on you, because it wasn't on you to hold it together.
I would say
mean,
the
it was,
collective
but-
push might have slowed down,
Yeah.
but like behind the scenes, everybody's still rocking with
True.
each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit was bigger than music. So like the people that maybe ain't around now were the people that got added last. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like a Plaza, Saeed, Creed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But all the ones that was day ones, niggas we grew up with, like we all still, like our kids know each other as uncles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So stepping away from it was cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good that you found respite in walking away rather than carried regret. Because, I mean, we miss you. We all, I mean, for real, we miss you. We would definitely welcome a comeback. Even if it was
On some
just
Brady shit.
man, even if it was just a host, man. You were one of the greatest hosts too.
I don't know. I've offered to do certain things as far as hosting, but
I got
I
somebody
just-
that I talked to today that's told me to ask you.
who?
We can talk off the mic.
That's real.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I got love for the city, man. There's a lot of dope artists here. I got a whole playlist for like Minnesota artists, but
Anybody that wasn't around when you were around that is now that you listen to?
probably not.
No.
No. I mean, I know there's people out there.
Yeah.
Like I listened to that. Who did that Cypher?
Trap Right.
Yeah. I listened to that, and there was one dude on there that I was like, where the fuck was you at? He snapped.
Yeah.
Like there was a few cats on there that japped. There was a few that didn't. I was kind of like, typical. I get tired of hearing everybody talk about trapping, and cause half them niggas ain't trapping. And if they are, it's
I don't know
like
about half might be light.
most ain't trapping. And the ones that are, that's still rapping about it, shut up. You incriminating yourself.
I agree. I've always
Shut
that's
up.
where I come from. Don't
Shut
talk
up.
about it. Keep your guns off the internet. Keep your money off the
Get
all
your
that shit
money
off
and
the
keep it
internet.
moving,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I
Like,
agree. I don't get that
You
at
know,
all.
let music tell your life story.
Yeah.
Your life story shouldn't only be about.
Did you watch the women's cipher?
No.
They did a women's cipher.
What?
Too. Yeah.
Now I have to look into that. No?
Nah. Not worth your time.
Was B Dot on it?
Nah.
They did a cipher and didn't include B Dot. That's what's wrong with this city, man.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Trap Right. They're doing their thing. They're creating some.
I don't know him, and there ain't no animosity or nothing like that. But if y'all did a cipher and didn't include B Dot,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. That's family. Like
I agree. Same.
blood. So like they tripping.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
next.
There's a couple on that should have been there, but I don't know what went on behind the scenes. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe they
I
were
don't know.
asked or what. And
I
said
stay out the
no.
way, man, on
Yeah,
purpose.
I don't. But
I don't.
I'm back. I was out the way for a while, but man, this is gonna be the first piece of content released from me in almost a year.
It's been that long?
Yeah, January.
Do I get to ask you questions?
You want to?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What happened to Wiseman?
Um,
Oh shit.
Man, the shit. Let's be real about it. I talked about this in another interview that has not been released yet, and I don't know if it's ever going to be released. But my life fucking fell apart. That's what happened. My whole life fell apart.
Damn.
Everything in my life fell apart.
I'm sorry to hear
Still
that.
going through it now. It's like literally.
Like with your wife and shit?
Yep. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. So that brought me to the realization that a big portion of why I ended up in that position is because of how dominating the Wiseman Show was in my life. And there wasn't enough ROI for me to be doing the amount of work that I was doing.
So your wife was speaking up on shit.
Man, it's taking everything in me not to throw her ass straight under the bus right now.
It's not throwing her under the bus, bro.
She didn't speak up about shit.
Oh.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe because she cared too much to...
Nah.
I don't know.
Nope.
That's why I just asked what happened.
I could tell you more about that specifically off the mic if you'd like,
yeah.
but no, that's not quite what it was. I had to come to that realization on my own, and it was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life to put that down because that was my baby. But
the Wiseman was dope.
The truth of the matter was, for the last 2.5 years that we were doing it, I despised it.
Damn. You and bro still good though?
Nah, not really. Not really. I don't know. We got some healing to do for sure. But it's dead. And it wasn't for lack of trying to maybe bring it back, but
Wiseman can be dead, but you and bro gotta heal that.
yeah,
100%.
yep. Some of it's on me, some of it's on him. We got shit we got to work out for sure. But yeah, man,
Life's
it's just
too short.
That's the long story short is my life fucking fell apart, and that had to take a back seat. And when it took a back seat, it kind of dissolved.
Are you happy now though?
Yeah. Well, I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
I'm happy doing this. Yeah, yes. I've done a lot of work, bro. Like a lot of work. Therapy every week. I've done a lot of work, and I'm still doing it.
Mental health is real, people.
It is definitely real.
That's dope that you can speak on that and not, the stigma of therapy. People think that it's,
We all fucking need it.
facts.
There ain't nobody that doesn't need it.
Facts.
If you don't want it, that's one thing, but you need it. It's a fact. It's one of those things you just got to, because we can call our moms all we want, but your mom's going to have bias.
Always.
You need to speak to somebody that doesn't know your life at all, that went to school for fucking 8 years to learn how to do this shit. So,
or tell your ass to church, but that's a different conversation.
yeah, church. I ain't ready for church, but I definitely have stepped back into the spiritual realm. I definitely am feeling closer to God.
However, you gotta get closer to Him.
Yeah, I haven't had a relationship with God ever until
you have
recently. Well,
you've always had a relationship with God.
An open relationship.
That's fair.
Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
So now I'm acknowledging my relationship with God.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for that.
I appreciate it, man. Well, I don't really have anything else for you here, but if you're ever thinking about making a comeback, we could get the rest of Sexy Fat. Is there more?
I was waiting for you to ask that.
Well, we talked about it.
I mean, I wouldn't say there was more, but I hadn't. So it wasn't like a plan to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had reached out to certain artists, like, hop on this.
Yeah.
Like, Irv was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Plaza was one of them. And it was before I was doing Sexy Fat. I was going to put these out as singles.
Yeah.
And niggas was dragging their feet. So I was just like, fuck it. Me and JTC chopped it up, and he was like, bro, just do you. Like, well, fuck if anybody want to hop on your shit. Like, you eating out here. So I was like, fuck, we going to do one versus. He was like, that's actually smart. I was like,
Super
why?
smart.
He was like, because people just going to keep playing that shit because it's so short. The replay value's there.
You were ahead of the curve on that.
So I said, fuck it, let's do that.
Yeah.
So we ran him with one versus, dope hooks, kept him moving. And then he was like, if you ever want to come back in and do an extended version and drop the second. I had second verses on some of them. I just didn't drop them.
Man, you should.
Yeah, I'm in a different spot now mentally.
Send them to me then. I remember
I don't have him. I know JTC ain't got him no more. Him and Tay, shout out to them niggas, man.
I'll bet you he does.
I don't think he do. He got a new hard drive and shit. I was chopping it up with him. Like, I still rock with everybody that I rocked with. It's just, I didn't ask him, hey, man, do you still have these? It just came up. And I know that, what him and Tay are doing,
Shit, if I were him, I'd have released that shit.
I'm glad he didn't, but he was a real one. He was the one on them statuses when everybody's like, when Tech. Shout out to Tech, too, by the way. I I checked out him and Pilot Johnny shit. I thought that was dope. Should have shouted him out earlier. Fuck with that. But they was posting like, oh, this is a publicity stunt, and he was one of the few that was like, nah, like I record him, like we talk, like this ain't no publicity stunt. He really done. So
yeah, I wish it would have been a publicity stunt.
Nah, I ain't.
But I'm glad. I'm really glad. I'm really glad to see that you're doing well,
Yeah,
and that you're carrying on with no
rapper, bro.
regrets.
Yeah, no, I'm not a gimmick rapper, you know.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna do shit for publicity. It was just time to put it down.
Yeah. What are you doing now?
I staff construction sites, so anybody looking for a job,
Yeah.
holler at your brother.
How can they holler at you? You ain't on social media, so how can they find you?
The real ones got my numbers. And if you don't, somebody got it on me.
Any of the youngins out there that are watching this that aren't familiar with Lyric, I think everybody knows at least knows who you are. You left. I mean, you left.
Some young ones didn't though. I remember who I was talking to, and they was like, "Who's that?" And I was just like,
Well, if you are watching this right now and you don't know, just go Google Lyric MARID. I promise you'll find some shit you like.
"My dude,
100%.
my dude."
Man, this has been fun.
Oh yeah, it's
You got
cool.
any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts?
Yeah.
Shit, I hope one day the city get off their shit and really start supporting each other. Cause I got an electrician. He's a producer, very very good producer, and he sees the talent up here. But he spoke on what he sees the issue is, and it's niggas can't get out their own way.
Yeah.
It's too much ego, not enough camaraderie.
Yep.
It's like that everywhere, but there's a lot of talent here that's never going to get a chance to really see what it could because of that.
Yeah.
But one day niggas will get over themselves.
I think it's happening. It's just slow rolling. But there's a lot of people that are figuring it out and are staying away from the ego, staying away from that mosh pit of artists that seem to be fighting for that top spot. Meanwhile, there's a whole world of artists out here and producers out here that are
People got to be about their business.
facts.
That's the biggest thing. Really be about your business. Really own your craft. Really put a plan together, strategize, not just local fame shows, get high, get drunk. That shit's dead.
I mean, you can do that.
I mean, that's cool,
It ain't going to work.
but
You're going to be 40 years old.
you got to smoke the weed. Don't let the weed smoke you. And
That's how we're ending it right there. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, right there. Lyric MARID, man, I appreciate you, bro.
I got you, brother.
Live on Lake Street. You can follow me at Jake Faircloth on Instagram, at Jake Faircloth1. No, at Jake Faircloth1 on Instagram, at Jake Faircloth on Twitter. And then follow us on Live on Lake Street everywhere.
Squad.
That's it. We out.
Damn, what in high school, I let it blam, what I wasn't playing, what I'm coming straight out the south. Hey, genius, best watch your mouth. When I put up on PNB, right, that nigga ain't even come out. You moving ounces, I just moved 100 things in a drought.